What up, man? It's your boy JQ, aka The Pimp, man. You know, we rocking with my brother Donnie Houston, man. Check him out. It's fire all day, every day. But we ain't scared to play.
Yeah, man, it's going down this Donnie Houston podcast. I am Donnie Houston. Check it out, man. I'm excited, man. You know what I mean? I'm always excited when I have, people from these backgrounds come on the show, man. It's a real honor. Hey, man, you've been seeing this guy around the city and beyond, just doing his thing, killing it as a DJ, running things, killing it at 97.9, officially the music director, assistant program director, if I'm not mistaken. If I am mistaken, we're going to get it right. But, hey, man, listen, the man be with 50. He even brought some of these nice drinks, man, today. I ain't never had nobody do nothing nice like that for me, man. Say, man, it's only one, man, DJ JQ. What's going on?
Man, what's up, Pimpin'? What's going on, man?
What's up? Hey, man, I'm honored to have you here, bro.
Hey, man, I'm honored to be here,
This is where I get to, not have to be too cool, because I see you out all the time. And we might have DJ before, and I be wanting to have long conversations.
Yeah,
the club ain't the place to.
Yeah, the club ain't the place.
It ain't. But here I can tell you, hey, man, appreciate everything you've been doing, man. I appreciate you coming through.
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? When I say it's an honor, bro, that ain't even the correct word, bro. This
hey, man, at the same time, I got to say it's an honor to be here with you, man. I've been seeing you doing your thing. I hit you up and got a chance over the holidays, man, to see some of your work on your podcast, man, and I was highly entertained, man, and definitely impressed. Even beyond that, man, you DJing, you hustling, doing your thing, man. So I got to give your props and flowers, man, for doing it up for the city, man.
Man, I appreciate it, man. I was just telling you when you came in, bro, that Dirty Third, man. Y'all got to see JQ in the Dirty Third, man. Because listen, I always thought you was funny, but I didn't know you was that funny.
Man.
I brought that back multiple times on my Amazon Prime. Wait. What did he say? What? Bro,
that was after everybody that started watching it when it came out yesterday were tagging me on, because I didn't really just, hey, man, I'm in this movie. I just kept it on the low. But people was watching it and filming the scenes and tagging me in it, man. It was fun doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? Was able to be myself, throw in some extra drip into the script and make it my own. So it was a dope situation.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Who put that together? Because it was you, but it was, of course you were playing a role, but this was very much JQ. You doing your thing.
My boy D-Rec, man, we didn't have a relationship since I was in Bryan doing radio, you know what I'm saying? So, back when he was doing Big Mo and stuff, he actually put me in the Dirty Third too. I had a small cameo role with Ronaldo Ray, rest in peace. And, we just always kept it 100, him and his brother Floyd. So, when they came around, they like, yo, we filming this movie. And he been knowing that I want to dip my hand into this acting thing. He had heard behind the scenes, because I hadn't really publicized that. I'm about to, get in this acting thing, this TV thing. He's like, yo, I got some roles for you. He said, I want you to see what you gonna work out. And he was showing me something, and I saw this role of the person Trick, and I said, let me get that. He's like, all right. He said, I think that'll be cool for you. And I asked him, how much room do I have to improvise? He said, man,
did they have the script for you or no?
Yeah, they had a script. Okay. They had the script for me. They laid it out. And I said, boom, boom, boom. When I did it the first time, that's when I asked, man, can I, improvise this situation? They was like, yeah, man, just do you. And so I added a lot into the thing. I just unleashed, and you could hear people on the set. We had to redo it a couple of times because people bust out laughing on the set and everything. But it was a cool situation, man. So shout out to D-Rec, it's Floyd Dixon, man, the whole Rec Shop family, man, for, having me involved in that.
This is what I call it reputation. Jake, you cutting up, man. I'm telling you. If for nothing else, you got to see this scene, man. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie, bro.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that. 100.
Man, so you saying acting? So that's something that you trying to?
Yeah, man. It's always been a passion of mine, because I feel like at this point in my life, I've mastered a lot of things. I feel like I've mastered the DJing. Is it room to grow? Yes, but I've pretty much mastered that. I've traveled the country, doing it on the radio end. I've mastered a lot, from being, from coming from a small town to coming to the city, to being part-time on air, to being full-time, to being a music director, assistant program director, and just doing that. I said, what's next? And, people been telling me that for a minute. Yo, you need to be on TV. You need to do this. I've did some hosting and stuff and everything. And I just kind of was like, I don't know if it was, I think it was nervous. I was nervous. I was like, I. And then my wife had been pushing me. She was like, yo, what are you doing? hey man, you need to take advantage of this. He's like, you right, let's go. Let me pump myself up, do some push-ups. And then I started kind of, researching, studying, doing some classes, on the low. And then people started finding out, like, direct. I was like, man, I know you're trying to get into this film. I said, how you know that? And then Boomtown, I talked with Boomtown. It was like, yo, hey man, yeah, you did that thing. And so, it's like I want to master everything. And outside of acting, I want to learn about, directing, executive producing films. I want to be the well-rounded entertainment guru.
That's dope. No, I'm into all that too. That's dope. I just, when I started, I was like, nah, JQ know what he doing. Like, this ain't like, it was very natural, bro. Like, I'm not driving you at all. I ain't. Bro, I really enjoyed that.
That is fine. That's inspiration right there. I'm like, Donnie Houston said it. Let me go out here. I'm kicking doors down. Let's go. Let's do it.
Nah, man, that was dope, man. So tell me, because somebody came on here, I can't remember who it was, but this is my first time hearing. They were like, man, JQ was the man in College Station on Bryan, and they were telling me that, and I was like, I didn't know, like, I just know you from the radio.
Yeah.
And it was the first person. I can't remember who it was, but they were speaking on like how you had things like on fire out there.
Oh yeah,
are you from College Station?
Yeah, from Bryan College Station, man. Yeah, that's why I was actually born in Waco. The year after I was born, we moved to Bryan College Station. I was there ever since, went to school, went to college there, and so in high school I started playing around with the DJing thing and stuff, and and I used to be a hip hop dancer doing all of that. So then when, the hip hop dancer, I can't really make no money doing this, being in Bryan College, I started doing the, tagging along with the little DJ and stuff. And, my mom bought me turntables, helped me buy records. I would drive to Houston and go to Sound Waves and go get these records, man, and drive back. And it used to be a thrill for me, like, man, I'm in there looking, I stay in there hours and hours just pulling out records, and then, was just DJing and doing stuff. And
so you DJing high school parties and all that?
Yeah, high school parties and stuff. And then when I got into college, and I didn't really have anybody to mentor me. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I was like, wow, I was a chicken with his head cut off, because I didn't have. So one day after high school, I went to a college party at A&M. And I saw this guy, he was killing it. And he had 2 turntables on one side and a mixer on the other side. I was like, whoa, I ain't never seen that. And I'm like, he was rocking it. And that gave me, and I was hearing the blending. I said, I'm doing something wrong. Like, this ain't what I was just throwing record, boom, boom, boom. So I'm like, wow. Just so happened, as I'm, coming into myself, I always knew Walter D. Walter D, mentored me a lot. You know what I'm saying? I would come down to Houston. He would mentor me like, hey, this is how you got to do it.
How did you connect with Walter D, though?
Coming to Houston, driving to Houston and everything, and met up with him, mutual people, met up with him and everything, and and the backstory on that, when he kind of fine-tuned my DJing, then I did my first Greek party, and it's like I killed it. Still was room to improve, so I was doing that, for a couple of years, and then they opened up a radio station down there, and people tell, hey man, they got a job opening. They opened up the new radio station.
Had you already made a name for yourself?
Yeah, DJing in the college parties and stuff, and so I was like, all right, let me go up there. So I just walked up into the station. They were kind of getting it together, and that's when I met Lester Serpace, who was a Houston legend. Worked at the box at that time, and crazy thing. Walter, he was the PD, and Walter was the music director. So Walter was like,
that's crazy.
I was like, I know this guy. He said, hey, man, so I hear you DJ, I'm gonna make you an on-air personality. You know how to do it? Nope, no experience. And so at this time, if you ever been to Bryan College Station, right outside of Bryan College Station, a little small town called Hearn. Mm-hmm. That's where the studio was.
Shout out Charlie Boy.
Yeah. Charlie Boy, man. And so it was like a little studio in a little barn in the middle of some cows. You can hear the mooing if you turn the music down. And so we walk into this little barn house. He's like, all right, so hear the CDs, hear the playlist. You play this and you talk here, boom, boom, boom. All right, we out. They got in the car and went back to Houston. Left me in here
to figure it out.
CDs, records, and I'm sitting
there. They got a board and the whole nine and all.
The board and all of that. And they was like, I'm talking about crash course. Boom, boom. And if you ever know Lester Page, this is how he talks. So boom, boom, boom. This is what you do. You hit this right here to talk, and then you hit this for the CD, 2 CDs, turntable. This is the volume for that, and boom. And these are the commercials. They're on the carts and everything. And I'm like, okay, all right. and I'm sucking. Like I'm sucking. I know I'm sucking. And so when the backstory, so Lester calls me after the shift, him and Walter dying laughing. They dying laughing. He said, but that's all right. That's how you learn. You know what I'm saying? He said, it's cool to make mistakes. It's cool to mess up. He said, but you did better than what I thought you did. And then so he came back the next day and really gave me the training and everything. And so started doing that, and I started mastering it, then boom. So then I saw Lester and Walter, they were traveling around throwing these parties. They rent out little VFW halls and do. Because that was my thing. I always wanted to excel, go bigger and bigger. So I would follow them. Oh, they renting out this place. They throwing these parties. Boom. I go back to Bryan. I start going to like the little small town. I would go to Hearn. I'd go to Calvert, Somerville, Navasota, Brenham, renting out places, throwing parties, making money. Good. Boom, bam. So then later on, and the crazy thing, I was telling you about the guy that inspired me to really learn about the DJ craft. I'm on TV one day watching hip hop videos. I see Gangstar. It's DJ Premier. He was going to PV at the time. Did not know that. I'm like, hey, that's the guy. Oh yeah. My homeboy like, oh, that's DJ Premier. You know, he went to PV. He from Houston. Oh, God. I said, bam. I said, oh yeah. I got inspired by one of the greats. So then, you know, after that's kind of learned how to throw parties, and then I started getting into the concert realm. And so
this is all while you in college?
At College Station. And it was going fast.
Wait, but you in school doing this?
Just in school doing this.
What you majored in? What, radio, television?
No, it was business. Yeah, I was in the business management. You know, I was like, and I ended up, probably by my second year, I ended up dropping out. I'm like, because I got so deep into the radio and I was making money. So I'm like, boom. So I started to throw concerts. And so the first person that ever came down there when I was at the radio station, you know, Lester would let me pretty much do, he said, hey man, one thing he taught me, he said, this is how small market radio works. You got freedom to play a little bit more than, play a little bit more than what you would like. But when you go to major cities like Houston, the box anywhere, it's rules, it's playlists. And so he taught me both things, like bam, so I wouldn't have shell shock if I ever tried to go to another station. So first person, Lil Flip met Lil Flip. At this time, he had I Can Do That, but they weren't playing it in Houston yet. So I mashed it, boom, boom, boom. So all the cities around Bryan College Station that could pick us up, you know, he was getting album sales, record sales, and all of this here. And then he went around to Dallas, Killeen, and everything. It was probably almost a year later, they started playing it on the box. So people in my city was like, because we could pick up the box. We could pick up box and Magic 102. Because I was always a fan. I was always listening to them. I'm like, wow. He's like, man, yo, Jay, you really helped me on that. They playing it now, damn now. I worked the record, you know, going outside of Houston and everything. So people in my city were like, this song old. I say, yeah, it's old. Yeah, because we've been playing it for a minute, but it's new to them. And so Flip was like, hey, man, let's do a show. He charged me X amount, shot him the bread. He came down to do a show. So that's how we built our relationship first. So then it just started going down the line. Built a relationship with Kiki, playing his records, come down there. ESG Slim Thug, Lil O, the whole Swisher House and everything. And at that time, Lester had people from the box coming down doing mixes at the station. You know, he had Steve Nice doing some stuff. He had Michael 5000 Watts. And while they were there, I would watch them and kind of fine tune myself. So, ooh, how you do that? That's what I need to do. And that really helped elevate myself on the party scene, you know, just learning little technical things, because I didn't have nobody to really learn from. They would sit down like, this what this is, this what that is, and bam. So, you know, it got to the point that I was doing shows with every Houston artist, Mike Jones, you know, and I always said, you know, if I come to Houston, you know, because at that time, you know, I wouldn't hear know what was going on. It would take a little time for them to get records put on at the box at the time. I said, well, man, that was my dream, because I could pick up the station like, one day I want to work up there. And I said, if I ever be up there and I got a voice, man, I'm gonna help y'all. I'm gonna help get some records on if they hits. And they're like, hey, you know, all right, Jay, cool. That's what's up. And then so, you know, kept on this building relationship. It got to the point that me and Lil Kiki, you know, I was paying him to do shows. And I remember one day, I don't know if he gonna get mad at me for this. One day I came to him. I'm like, man, I got an idea. What I'm paying you, that's cool, but you can make some more. why don't you do a concert and we go in on it, 50-50. He's kind of hesitant about it and everything. And I was like, he's like, you know what? You've been cool with showing love. Let's try it out. And I told him, if we don't make it, I give you what I normally give you. Let's just say it was 2 to 3 times more what he was getting. So he's like, anytime you want to do this, we in there. Let's go and do the thing. And so we really built a rapport with each other and everything. And so, you know, it was a good time. It was a good time down in Bryan, Colorado. So, you know, doing the college parties. That's how I met Def Jam Blaster. The Kappas used to have a big Greek show called the Greek Olympiad.
Greek Olympiad. Say, man, let me tell you something. I'm going to Sam Houston.
Ooh, talk to me.
My boy's like, man, we gonna go to Greek Olympiad. It's like my freshman year, sophomore, some shit like that. I don't know. But they had went the year before. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, we're gonna go to Greek Olympiad. It's at College Station. That was like, as far as college experiences in Texas, if you miss Greek Olympiad, I don't even know if Greek Olympiad is still going on. But like, if you miss Greek Olympiad, like you miss some. You know what I'm saying? Like I distinctly remember it was packed, it was crazy, but then we come outside and it's a crowd of people, like all these people around this one thing, and I see like this blue car and it's like a Bentley Rolls Royce, and all you see is this towering figure, Slim Thug. This before the deal and all.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh shit, like this the first time me seeing like, and people fanning out over him. This before the Pharrell, all that. Greek Olympiad, dog. Like we went, I never forget the first year we went there. Shit was so crazy. We ended up spending the night with some Deltas when he had met that night. It was a lot going on, man. Greek Olympiad was a time, man.
Oh man, yeah, you're looking at 10 to 15,000 people coming from all over the South to College Station that weekend for Greek Olympiad. And I remember my first time, because you know I was the main DJ at A&M, and so it got to, so Blaster would always do the Greek Olympiad. He was Kappa, and so they was like, yo, we got to merge out too. So you know, first day I met him, he was like, okay. All right, who this guy is, and we kind of rocked, and we just kind of, you know, it was a mutual respect. So then after that, we were both cool. Every year we would do it together. Like one year in the gymnasium, it was almost like Juice. He was set up on one side on the rafter, I was on the other side, and we would go like, hey, I'm gonna go for 20, you go for 20, you know, I go 30, you know, that kind of situation. And you know, we killed the game. And you bringing up Sam Houston at the Greek Olympiad, not knowing he was gonna become the, you know, one of the heavy hitters in the game. That's when I first met T. Ferris. T. Ferris was going to Sam Houston.
You going to Sam?
Yeah.
T. Ferris,
and he was coming down there to the thing, and that's how we got cool. You know, just on some real genuine stuff. We talking and yeah, man. So when I moved to Houston and I find out he's into the record industry, I'm like, whoa. He's like, man, you always been 100 with me. You go whatever I can do for you, you Gucci. I'm like, yeah. So you know, it's been pimping since, baby.
So wait. So what year did you end up leaving College Station?
I left 2004, I believe, 2003 or 4, and I just jumped up, and you know, I felt like I had did everything that I could do down there, and I was like, man, I want to work at the box. And I was like, you know, because I could hear everybody. I was a fan of Mad Hatter, listening to him, listening to J-Mac. You know, J-Mac was super young at the time, just getting into college when he was on there. Blaster and Aggravated, Steve Nice and GT. I was T. Gray. I'm like, oh, man, listen to these guys. So I said, man, I got to go. And I told Walter. Walter said, yeah. I just packed up. I was working at the radio station, throwing parties, and I was assistant manager of Cinemark Theater. So I had all this going for me. I quit everything, packed up, but Lester did tell me, he said, I still need you to program the station. We got some software where you can do it wherever you from. Cool. I get in the car, pack my stuff up, boom, not knowing, having no idea what I'm going to do.
Oh, this is just, I'm going to work for 979. Ain't no job lead.
Ain't no job lead, nothing. So first thing, the owner of the radio station in Bryan, Pluriel Marshall, he had a newspaper in Houston called The Informer, black African-American, one of the legendary African-American newspapers. I went to him. I said, man, let me go up here. I'm going to put you in sales. I don't know nothing about sales. He had always preached to me about sales. Well, I could do that to make ends meet. On the sly end, Walter D would sneak me through the back door, and I would file his records. I would file his records, type up his memos. He said, let me just get you in the door to doing something and kind of meet everybody. And, you know, I did that for like, you know, for free for like 2 years. You know, I had family members, you know, girlfriend at the time was like, yo, you a dummy. You going out there, because I would leave my job at lunch, go to the station, sneak back. I was going back and forth. And they're never gonna hire you. So it but it gave me life. Like when they would do mix show, that's when they used to do 24-hour mix show weekends. None of the guys wanted to do that graveyard shift. So the PD at the time, Town Calicoche, he was like, yeah, put JQ in there, let him do it. So I was in there midnight to 5 a.m. mixing with vinyl. It's like crazy. So, you know, after some time, 2 years go by, me and the owner of the station, we had some bumping of the words, and I quit. And I walk out.
Did they officially hire you, or you were still kind of just coming in to do these
No, they didn't hire me at the station yet. So I just quit, and I'm like, man, what am I gonna do? I go to the station, and I go up there, and I'm sitting in Walter's office. And so it's 2 days for my birthday, the phone rings. And it's Tom Calicoche, the PD at the time. He's like, yo, JQ, what up? He said, one of my part-time girls, Priya B, she going to Florida. I know you're a mixer and everything, but I can get you in on this part-time on air personality. He said, and then you can also mix if you want to, but I got this job. I said, you want it? I said, hell yeah. He said, well, it's Friday evening, Friday afternoon, late afternoon. He said, we'll just get up on Monday. I hung up on him. I run around the hallway and bust up and I'm here. What's up, man? He's like, you been here this whole time? I said, yeah. He said, all right, then started doing a part-time on air personality. Started from there, was still mixing and everything, and shoot. And it just kind of went from there, man.
This is crazy. I didn't know all of this,
bro. A lot of people think I'm from Houston, like, because I came in the scene. Like when I moved to Houston, I want to say because you got classes, they were just coming into their own on the club circuit. So when I came in, that's when Rogers and S.U.C was coming into our own. So I came in right with that class, and boom, like I'm over there watching them, and oh, you did this, and I hear you doing that. Oh, and it was like we just kind of just meshed with each other. So it's like, but when people saw me start doing like clubs, the thought was, this dude from Houston, I don't know which part, even though I would say on the radio, I'm from Bryan College Station. I'm from a small country town, like, and everything. And it's like, they trip out. But still people to this day, some people, man, what part of Houston you from? Man, I'm not from here. I'm a Houstonian now, but I said, I'm not from here.
This whole shit is crazy.
That's crazy shit, man.
This is crazy. Okay, so you come in, now you got the position. How do you end up working your way up to, because I mean, now, bro, you at the top, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, so, it's patience, man. So what I started doing, my line of thinking in life, and this one thing Lester taught me, he said, whatever somebody else did in 5 years, you got to do in 1. That was my mode when I got here. First thing first, I knew I had to be in the clubs. I didn't know nobody, so I followed GT around some of his clubs, Walter D, kind of meeting people. Then people started giving me a chance, and I would go in and kill it. Bam, working my way. The ultimate party at the time, and this is before I, got the MD stripes and everything. The ultimate party at that time was the milkshake on Thursday, and so I was like, this is the party. This is the party that makes or breaks you. I got to get in there. So I would go up to Lisa Rogers and I'd be like, hey, I've been seeing you. Yeah, let me get in there. I come in there and kill it. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, you ain't ready yet. Anybody else would have took that and been like, shut down. You're not gonna tell me no. If I want it, I gotta be patient and kick that no. This went on for 6 months. Boom, boom. Hey, I'm gonna come in there, but I would keep coming around. Sometimes,
who was the head DJs? Or who were they number one guys?
They were doing a rotation at the time. No, Rob G was over there. S.U.C was over there. Rogers did it for a little bit. And who else? Aggravated. Yeah, so they were rotating those guys around and everything. And I wanted to get in the rotation. That's how I knew, because if it had just been one DJ, that's not my thing to come and say, yo, let me come and take your thing. But I knew they had a rotation. I want to get in the rotation. You know what I'm saying? What if it's twice a month, once a month, whatever. Boom. So one day we sitting by our car and we had this long conversation. She's really digging into who I am as a person. And then me and Lisa just really clicked, and she like, you know what? You're a good person, but I don't know if you're ready for milkshake yet. That's cool. I said, that's all right. So I said, I'm patient, girl. Shoot, it's what it is. And so I've come and support, and one day she calls me. JQ, how you doing, boy? You ready for milkshake? Ready? I was ready. Let's go. Let's go. And so I knew I was nervous though. I went in there and I put on records. I said, man, if you don't, I was like Eminem on 8 Mile. If you don't go in there and do this and kill this, it's done for this kind of stuff. Because that's who the who's who was. Every star. I went in there and killed it and became into the rotation, man. And that opened doors. Because if you were there, other promoters looked at, oh, that dude, he does milkshake. He does milkshake. Everybody else was out there, from the Hot C's, the Rogers, Rob G's, GT's, Aggravated. They had their name. I'm the new dude. Yeah, I'm gonna get this name. So then now my name is being brought up in the middle of these guys' names too. So you know it was good. I had so much fun doing that, man. So after that, started doing that. I was just patient, you know. My Tom Calicoche, the PD, he was getting ready to leave as I was trying to feel him out because I wanted to, you know, work up under. He comes, says, I'm leaving. They moving me to LA. And then so this when Terry came in. Terry came in from Cincinnati, and I really didn't know her. And I'm like, yo, I'm JQ. I'm like, you know, when I was in Bryan, I was a music director. And she's like, oh, that's cool.
I ain't got nothing to do with 979.
Yeah. Yeah. So she kind of just like brushed me off. And I was like, that's cool. I got my feelings for a millisecond. Jay, my little voice, JQ, you know what you, patience. She don't know you. Show her who you are. I was me every day, but I would come in and say, hey, Miss Thomas, you need any help with anything? And she's like, no, not really. But then I would see certain things she was doing. I walk in, how you doing today? She said, I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, this what that is. Okay, boom. Oh, I got to do this today, and I got to type this. I'll type it for you. Type it up the way she like it, boom. And so she started watching. She's like, yo, dude, bam. And then one day she came to me and she's like, yo, you want to be the music director? I'm like, yeah. And that's how our bond became. She started trusting me. I trusted her. She was like, yo, we always talk about everything that we would do, you know, for the station. I was really learning from her because I started learning her background from who she learned from some legends and learning things about this business. And it went from there to being the assistant program director. She said, I want to give you a bigger title. And I was like, yeah.
Okay, wait. Can you tell me, when you say music director, what is the music director's role within the radio?
Music director pretty much does scheduling and also chooses music for the station. But you still got to answer to the boss. You can't just go do what you do. You know what I'm saying? It's be like, so if we be like, oh, I want to, and then they also the music directors over the mix show department, so over the DJs, you know, so creating the mix show list or what we need to play and all that stuff. So when you get into the APD, assistant program director, it's almost being, she's the president, I'm the vice president, you know, I get a little bit more power leeway, I got more responsibility on the plate, so I'm training people, I'm doing technical stuff at the station, doing calls with record labels and stuff, you know. It deals with all that, basically the day-to-day management stuff that a manager would do, you know. Whatever that she couldn't do or couldn't tend, be like, I got to go to this event, but I need to be at this event. I'm go to this one. Can you go to that one? And I would have to represent the station and everything. So, you know, it just kind of worked hand in hand, and you just kind of learn that you start being on calls that I wouldn't have been in being a music director. I'm in calls with corporate. You know, I'm going to radio meetings and with the big dogs that's been in the game 15, 20 years, learning from them and everything like that. So, yeah, man, it's been cool. It'd be stressful some days. Some days it'd be really stressful, but I love it though. You know.
How long did you come from joining the station to becoming music director, and then from music director to APD?
See, when I got hired, I give it. So right when, in actuality, right when I got hired, 6 months later, Terry came in. So I would say about 2 years being music director, and probably another 3 to be assistant program director. Yeah, so yeah, it's like people like ask me, and it's like I have to think about it. It's like, 'cause time flew by so fast. I'm like, I say, dang, I've been at the station 2004. Like, wow. Like, a lot of people can't say that. That's some job security for your ass. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, and it's like, bam. So then I started doing that. and then doing part-time on their personality thing, and then right at the time, I would always be crazy on that. I just say whatever
That's what I was gonna ask you. Where did you come from? The pimpin' really? We pimpin' on 79.
It's all the pimpin' on 79. So then, this like unsung right now. So so basically, I was doing an on-air weekend shift, and I was talking crazy, and she would come in. She like, "Yo, Q, that was funny, but it's kind of inappropriate."
Like what kind of stuff is?
I would just say anything off my dome, so I could be something. Let's just say, if this was going on now, let's say the Michael B. Jordan, Lori Harvey thing, me on there. Yo, it's 97.9 The Box, your boy Pipperelli JQ, man. Oh, that girl Lori Harvey, boy, she got that boy Michael B. Jordan over there crying and everything, and she done got her some new thing. She getting the stick from old Idris from over there off of Snowfall. You know what I'm saying? He done took the fall from Michael B. Jordan and picked it up and finna just gone bang, bang, bang. I would say something crazy. So she like, this. What?
Pushing the limit all the way on that.
So then Heather comes and he's like, damn, you can get away with saying that. And people, it got to the point where the city, they accepted that for me. They like, this dude is ignorant. I have my own vocabulary. You know what I'm saying? My mom's is a school teacher, so she gets mad at me. She said, "You're not using that word right." I said, "Mom, that's how I talk." You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what it is. Even time she hit me, call, "What? You said that? That's not correct grammar." I'm like, who cares? They don't care. It's like, whatever. So I'm saying that. So Heather's like, this dude's funny. This dude funny. So then it came around the time that, so take it back. So when the Tay would go on vacation, Heather's like, come on in on the show and just sit there. Cause I actually made a joke to him. So I'm coming around the hallway pimping. Heather, man, if you ever need me to fill in for one of the vacations, if it's Jimbo, J Mac, Little Pimp coming there, you know what I'm saying? I'm really you know what I'm saying? And then one day he called me, "Hey Jay, come in, the Tay gonna be on vacation. Come in the show." I'm like, huh? What? "Yeah, you gonna do entertainers." Oh shit. Alright. I'm gonna be on the Man Morning Show. Bam. So I go in there. And Heather's like, so the first report I read, it was real generic. Yes, such and such did this, and yes, and they did this. And then we go to break. He said, "What the hell is you doing?" I said, "What?" He said, "That ain't you." I said, "But I'm on the morning show." He said, "Man, do you? That guy here on the weekend, do that." But it's in the morning time, so now you got wide. It's different than doing the week. Man, we'll deal with that when it come. So the next hour come, I do it myself like I was doing. Yeah, it's the boy JQ with entertainers, man. Boy, I tell you, this boy R. Kelly is a damn fool. He still peeing on girls. It don't make no damn sense, boy. You know what I'm saying? He just need to get his pee-pee, caught off, you know what I'm saying? This ignorant stuff. And Helen and they's like, what? My boss Terry's calling, what is he saying? I was like, trust me. People are laughing. Nobody complained. So I was doing that off and on. When Jimbo went on vacation, I come in and fill in. So then when Natay left, everybody was like, man, what we gonna do? Get another female or whatever? And so I happened to be pulling up in the garage as him and J Mac having this conversation. Man, and Natay leaving, yeah, man. Well, he said, well, being there on Monday. What you mean being there on Monday? You on the show? On what show? Our show, motherfucker. But don't y'all need a female? Well, you got female tendencies because you watch all them shows, Love and Hip Hop and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? You can relate to them. I don't know if that's a compliment. He said, you know what I mean? You watch the same thing them girls be watching, and you can talk about it. Just do. So he get in, and it just went crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, bam, I went on there. And I would do entertaining. I would just say crazy stuff. And I know the guy that was a producer, Coop, some days he was looking like, oh my God, I can't say this. I'm gonna tell you something I said one day. And this is when they all thought that we were gonna be in trouble. So I'm reading this, I'm saying something about some Chinese something. And I was like, you got to go over here and, you come over there and be changa chang chang, changa chang chang. JQ, that's racist. What are you doing? So one of our faithful listeners, who's in the Asian bag, Khan, she tweets, JQ is so crazy. And they was like, nobody said anything because they know he doesn't mean any harm. He's just being JQ and so it just kicked off. So it was always a thing of me just saying ignorant, crazy stuff on there. I just laid back, kicked my, what we doing today? Yeah, we gonna talk about this. And we would just, it was just almost like, I feel like Haller was Jordan because he's mastered everything. He would just pass the ball, hit the Scottie Pippen, bam. It could be Mac or whatever. When we play off each other and say ignorant, dumbass that didn't make no sense, but it had the people like entertained and laughing. People were tweeting like, JQ a motherfucking fool. This boy say any goddamn thing. So then people would tune in to the morning show. What is he gonna say today? And I kept up with it. I just was myself the whole time, man.
Man, that's crazy. Just when you break this whole thing down, this is all crazy. It was a moment I think on the Mad Hatter Morning Show. I think this was the Mad Hatter Morning Show. It was some moment on radio. It had to be the morning show, maybe, with the suicide thing.
Oh yeah, that was on the morning show.
I remember hearing that, and like for a long time, bro, I just was like, "Oh, JQ's the funny guy on the radio."
Yeah.
When that happened, I was like, JQ might be the realest dude on the radio. Like, bro, that shit was so, and I'm pretty sure it touched a lot of people, but like to hear that, you know what I mean, and people experienced that, you know, it just was a different thing, bro.
Yeah, and that wasn't planned. Like I would never tell that, you know, in my right mind. But the situation was that particular day, if you remember the story, Floyd Mayweather's one of his best friends committed suicide, and they were telling the story on the air, and so the whole thing of it was, I don't understand how somebody could just do that to themselves. And I was like, so I just like, man, it's a moment. I said, you say you won't do that, but it's a moment. And they was like, I'm like, how you know that? Because I almost did it to myself. And then so he got quiet. And they like, what you talking about? So then I started trembling. So I started telling the story back when I was in Bryan. I got stressed, depressed, real bad. Had caught my girlfriend cheating at the time. You know, I was just going through a whole lot of mental stuff, and it has got to, I remember during that time was when Big Mo had just shot the Man video, and I had came down to Houston. Direct, you know, invited me out, came down for the whole Big Mo release weekend. I remember I was with them, I'm smoking weed. I wasn't even the weed smoke, I was smoking weed, not realizing that however you feeling, the weed gonna depress you even more. Didn't know that nobody gave me the rule book on how it worked. I'm thinking I'm finna feel good, so I'm drinking, I'm smoking, and everything was good till I went back to the hotel room.
By yourself.
Yeah, myself, and I'm over there laying on the bed like a crackhead. God, why is this happening to me? God. And so I go back home. At my apartment, I used to have I have a roommate, and I would have friends that come through there, access to my house. One of my homeboys saw the backstory. He saw something wasn't right. He saw something different in my eyes. And I had this gun. It was a .357 Magnum short barrel revolver. Always stayed loaded, 6 bullets. One night, you know, like I'm drinking. Oh man, and then I picked the gun up. And I put it to my head, and I click it. Don't nothing happen. Just as I did that, one of my other homeboys was walking in. He saw me pull it down. He ran and tackled me. He like, yo, Jay, it's gonna be all right. Boom, boom, boom. That thing is, find out that my other homeboy saw that. He went in there. He said, man, I don't know. This might try to do something to himself. I don't think he will, but just in case, he took the bullets out the gun. I never look, you know, with a revolver, you got to pop it open and everything. And so, yeah, man. So after that, like, and it scared me once I did. I said, and I was like, whoa, I got to get right. And then so the next day, I'm walking around. I hadn't eaten or drinking anything. I passed out, and I fell face first onto a car's rearview mirror, knocked me unconscious, took me to the emergency room. My mom was out of town at a teacher's conference. My dad was up there. He's like, yo, man, it's going to be all right. You know, you good. You just gotta get over. My mom was like, yo, you need to get counseling and all of this. Went and saw a doctor, did the counseling, really didn't do nothing for me. They gave me medication. It wasn't really doing nothing for me. Then I started going to church a lot at that point. And I remember
You didn't grow up in church? This was like
yeah, I grew up in church, but I started going more. You know, I skip a Sunday or two here and there. You know what I'm saying? But I really saying, man, I need some extra. And so I would go after my preacher at the time. I would go see him like even after church, and we talked. And he would tell me about this scripture from Psalms, and you know, people always say which Psalms scripture was, and I don't know if it was Psalms 19, but it was one of the Psalm scriptures. He's like, read that 10 times every morning when you wake up. I'm like, all right. About 4 days later, it's like no pain, depression, stress that I was feeling was there anymore. It just went away. Like I felt like a new person. I'm like, man, God can do it. You know what I'm saying? I was like, whoa. So mom said, you gonna tell? I said, I don't need that medicine no more. I said, no, I don't need, all I need is God. And so, you know, that just changed my perspective on it. So when I said it, I, you know, told that story on the radio, you know, the whole studio, this first time I ever saw Hatter cry. Like he was crying, Cooper, Jimbo, you know, Mac don't want you to see him, like, but he was doing this him. This how Mac was doing it. He was like this him, rubbing it in there. So, you know, and then we came back and talked about it some more. And then the crazy thing what hit me is when I went out into the world. Like I remember one time, it was Club Venue. I was DJing there every Saturday night, and one of the security guards, this guy you would never think, big, swole, Debo looking guy, he's in a suit, and he pulls me to the side and he's like, yo, Jay, hey man, thank you. I'm like, well, for what? You saved my life. I said, what are you talking about? He said, that day you said that, man. He said, I was going through some stuff with my wife. I wanted to end my life that day, and I probably would have did it. And I heard what you said, and to see that you can overcome it, and you a funny, happy guy, and to know that you went through that and you overcame it, he said, it made me go get help. And it's like, I'm trying not to get emotional when we in the club, and he hugged me, and he just has me tight. And he said, man, don't tell nobody. I said, it's between me and you, bro. And then he says, after we let go, he says, because I don't want to have to fuck you up if I hear this out. Like, and so, yeah, man. So, you know, that I would get that a lot. Like, I would get that from, like, different people. I had parents coming to me like, yo, my kid has been dealing with bullying and they want to end their life. And that story helped them, you know, realize that life is worth, you know, living. And we're getting them help. And then I started going like to schools and stuff. People hear me, can you come talk to our class? Sure. Can you come over here? Yeah. So I started saying, I feel like that was another calling for me to help people. And I tell people all the time, you know, a lot of people heard it that day, but then we fast forward, I started doing some, with NAMI and their mental health program, I started doing some stuff with them, and we did some video vignettes where I was talking about. Then people hear, what? Man, with this? Like people that was close to me, like that didn't hear the radio that day. What? Man, I can't believe this. And even today, so we fast forward to present time. I was in Las Vegas, man, and that's the day I woke up and I saw the DJ Twitch from Ellen's show killed himself. Never would have thought. This man's a married man, has kids. He's always dancing on Instagram, happy. Killed himself, man. It hit my soul. I'm like. And so I saw people's comments, and I said, man, I'm going on Instagram Live in 5 minutes. This is real. And I was basically told people, you know, pray for his family. And, you know, if you're out there feeling like, you know, something going on with you, hey, man, it's people, talk to somebody. Because, especially as black men, you know what I'm saying, we have this thing where we try to be strong. We feel like we can't talk to our friends and all of this stuff, and then we go do something to ourselves. So I'm like, yo, y'all say, I'm guarantee you, people want to see you here. Let's talk to people. And do it big. And I told them something. Stress, depression, it's no way getting around it. It's about knowing how to wake up each day and battle it. Do I still go through stress and depression? Yes. Do some days I'll be like, man, I don't want to be here no more. Yeah, I still deal with that. But the thing is, I pressure myself to never do that because I'm going to hurt so many people. You know what I'm saying? I have a wife now. My wife's like, yo, if you're not here, you know what it do to your mom. You know what it do to your kids. But that's the thing about it. It's an impulse. That impulse, everything that you think of can fly out that door. And you can make the biggest mistake of your life. You know, so I get up every morning, read positive stuff. I work out a lot. That helps me deal deal with stuff, and this is just something that's dealing with people across the country, male, female, and kids. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so if I can help save some people or give them another perspective that like you not alone, like I do it. I done had people hit me like late at night, like, "Jay, I gotta talk. I hate to bother you. Let's do it. What's up? What's wrong?" And we talk it through. You know what I'm saying? I see somebody online saying, "Yo, man, I don't want to do this. I might not know you from Jack, Joe, and Joe." You know what I'm saying? But I'll hit them up and be like, "Yo, man, you good? I got some places you can go help yourself out with." You know what I'm saying? You get yourself right. But it was a big weight off of me, telling that on the air, because I had been keeping that demon buried in me and everything. And that's why I tell people, it's like a lot of people get mad. And that's when they understand. People, you got some people that liked it, man. He always smiling. Man, you always so fucking happy, man. Where you happy, man? I smile. And then some people would be mad about it. Man, why the fuck you smile so much? It's just me. And I said that on the radio. Okay, the truth is, this is why I smile. Because I'm not supposed to be here. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to smile. I'm going to be, I'm going to be boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I smile, but I go through it too. Even overcoming a suicide attempt, I still go through it, but I know the tools. I got a strong unit circle of people that I can call for anything and talk it out. You know what I'm saying? Even if they don't understand, they can listen to me. What's up? Yep.
That's real, man. That's real. Well, man, on the push it up a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Take it up top.
Yeah, man. Tell me about this 50 Cent relationship, man. How did you end up like linking up with him like that? And it seems like I look up and it's like that's 50. Oh, that's JQ. You know what I'm saying? And it won't be in Houston. It'll be other shit going on.
Years of building. When I first got on the station, I remember he came to the station, and me just being me, it was kind of like, "Oh, this dude, funny dude, yeah." Fast forward a couple of more years, I'm out of town. I see him. "What's up, Fifth?" Boom, 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 boom. And one thing about Fifth, he has a great memory. You be thinking he don't remember me, cute, right? Like, yeah. I was like, "All right, what's going on? You been good?" Boom. So that went on for years and years and years. So then we get around to 2015, 16 or so. He comes out with his F and Vodka. And when I tell people one thing about Fifth, everybody around him is bigger than your talent. Everybody around him is talented, but he has to know who you are in here. Because if you see it, he don't trust everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got hidden agendas. So he handpicked his team. There's a lot of DJs. I want DJs. You had the Ciroc Boys at the time. He was coming out with this thing. I'm gonna do my own version of the effing mob. And he had DJs from, he had his New York guys, and he's had guys from major markets. And they hit me like, "Yo, 50 wants you to be down with this effing vodka." Went in it, and even then he knew like I was talented in radio and DJing. He's like, how is this guy gonna handle this part? Being every time he would come around, I wouldn't try to be up under him. I'd try to be like on the other side. And one of his main guys would be like, "Yo, Jay, go over there, stand next to me." And he'd be like, "Man, that's why I like you, man. This star stuff don't mean shit. Yeah. Don't mean shit to you." And so we get done with when we had the F and Vodka deal. I remember one time, this was when Mayweather fought McGregor, and I was in Vegas with Kiati. We was broadcasting. That's when the flood hit Houston. We weren't able to come back. We got stranded, and I was supposed to go to Houston and then fly to New York to film. This when he got his 50 Central on BET. It hit me like, "Yo, 50 wants you to do 2 shows on BET. He wants you to be a DJ." I'm like, "All right." So I couldn't go back to Houston. I had to fly directly from Vegas to New York. And so I was supposed to do 2 shows and ended up doing 5 because I did so good. And so, we get past that. 50 gets into it with the, he didn't like some stuff that the F and Vodka people were doing because he was an investor. They bought him out for like 60 plus mil. And I remember I went to New York to Summer Jam, Hot 97 Summer Jam. And I had just had TV Johnny make me an F and Mob chain. And I get there and he comes in there, yeah, I sold it. Yeah, and he was an official sponsor of that Summer Jam. He said, "But after that, we're done." He said, "But I got something else coming." So he comes with a prototype of the the Le Chim de Wa champagne. I got my own champagne and my own cognac coming. He shows me the pictures. He said it's smooth. He said when it tastes, I had people taste it. Just sit back and chill. And you know, during that time when people saw him sell that, I had all the like people would come to me, yo Jay, we want you to be with our liquor. We want you to be with our liquor. And I'm like, nah. It's like 50 ain't got nothing. I said, but he will. I said, even if he don't, I'm loyal to do it. Dude put me on TV, took care of me. He's like, nah. The next year he gets the Branson going and everything. He's like, yo Jay, let's get it. I need you on board with this. I got the team. I got some of the old team, but some new members. We need to run it. And so we just kept our relationship, you know, we have a business relationship, we have a personal relationship, and then we just got to hanging around, and he just got to see and learn more about me and my personality, and it just went from there, man. It's like it's a mutual respect, it's loyalty. He knows that I'm loyal, and he knows that I'm not going to abuse our relationship. And you know, so people will see, just like with anything, especially being in radio. I see stars all the time. We take pictures. You know, people, as many times as people saw pictures of me and 50, they still didn't want to believe what the relationship was. They're like, what's whatever. And it took, some people did, but it took when he got his humanitarian award from Houston. And I remember that day, he didn't know I was coming. I went and I was just attending, so he's sitting up there doing his speech with Sheila Jackson Lee, and all of a sudden, and it was like real dark. I don't know how he saw me. He was like, wait a minute, is that JQ? What's up, pimpin'? In the middle of all of these white people and billionaires and millionaires, and I'm sitting there like, oh, he just called me pimpin' in front of all these people. He's like, oh no. So that goes, so then the video comes out. They send me the video. Yo, this was a beautiful moment. So then I post that video up. And people like, oh, he f***s with him. I said, that's what it took? Like, yo, you seen all of this stuff. You seen us on stage performing. I'm DJing. You saw him come to my birthday party, right? When the pandemic was ending, like, at Hinky and Pilot. Yeah, it's like, yo, I didn't know he was in town. Like, yo, Jay, it's your birthday? Oh, shit, I'm going to come through. I'm like, you ain't coming through. Watch. Get some more Branson in there. We're going to party. He comes in and gives out bottles, I start playing this song. He comes and grabs the mic and starts performing. He don't do that with like everybody. That people that around, he say he don't do that with everybody. Like that, he got love for you and everything. And so, you know, that's just basically how I do. You know, when they say relationships mean more than money, and relationships are everything, that's just real. Like people don't really understand it. And you ain't got to force feed it. I see people try to force feed relationships. You can't do that. You got to be natural with it. You know what I'm saying? And you know, people try to use me, like people that never, like if you did something for me, we're friends and we did some work together on something, you know, sometimes people would come to me and be like, yo, is it possible to get him? I'm like, yeah, he really don't do it. But I had people that really didn't fuck with me. But because of my affiliation with 50, yo, Jay, I want to get him over here. Like it's that, like I can call this man, this fucking 50. I don't even. This how I pivot.
Look, I know. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, bam, it's like, could I? Yeah, but why am I gonna do that for you? It's like, and then I would know people that hated on me. Like that's the thing about me. I know that you hated on me. I know that I know too many people that tell me things, but here's what fuck them up. I never treat them any different. But I ain't finna give you no alley-oops.
Yeah, that's when the line gets drawn, though.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you no extra whatever. I'm gonna do what you do. And to this day, people don't know, you know, be like, I'm like, yeah, I know what you did. I know what you did. I had a person that tried to blackball me one time because I started dating a chick that they used to date. They were done, and this person told me about it. Started getting blackballed. And I figured it out. I ain't had no ill feelings. And in my head, I'm like, you know,
we'll cross paths again at some point.
You know, in my head, man, fuck him out. But it's like, what? Nah, kill him with kindness. I kept it pimping. You know what I'm saying? It's like, but I be knowing, people don't be thinking I know I be smiling. My best friend Dre, he gets mad at me for that shit. He's like, man, why you smiling in these dudes' face? You know they don't like you. And they be like, I say, man, hey, that's how you kill them with kindness. it ain't about that. Why I'm gonna be mad and treat them the same way? Because apparently they going through something for them to do me like that. And I try to teach that to my kids. Everybody around me that I work with. You know what I'm saying? Heather would also get mad. He's like, man, why? He said, man, I gotta learn from you. He said, because you want them turn the other cheeks and let it marinate. He said, man, I want to be like that. One day, and this was years ago, we had that conversation, and I just told him what my method of thinking is. It's like, it's not worth holding grudges and doing all of that, because I'm not going to get blessed by God. God's steady blessing me, you know what I'm saying, because I choose to be real and honest. Like, I could feel I could be in the dictionary under the definition of 100. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm always going to help people. I help people. I do things for people. But the one person I'm not able to do nothing for, maybe like, fuck JQ. And that's cool. That's all right. Because you ain't going to come and swing on me. It's because I'm going in respect, because I come from a country town. Dudes talk all of this stuff, but they ain't never, because there's been some incidents when people done seen that work done, and they be like, oh, this dude smile, but he crazy. J Mac, you out here, J Mac. Man, JQ crazy, man. Don't make that fool mad, man. Man, come on, man. Don't ban now, man. Don't do it. He gonna get mad at me for that. Oh man,
Man, that's bro. You done had a pretty incredible life, man.
yeah, man. It's more to go, man. It's more to go, man. I got so much more to do out here, man. But I've been blessed. Like, I have no complaints. If I could go back, I would keep everything even the same, the way I was doing things. Even though I lost money just like the next man. You know what I'm saying? I was did some MC Hammer stuff. When I was making money throwing parties. I made sure my crew had
Everybody
money.
good, and yeah.
I remember I drove to Houston, got my whole crew when they was hot. The Motorola two-way pages went to Houston, got them, and then they all flaked out when the money stopped coming in and the party started dying. Like, everybody started disappearing. You know what I'm saying? And the only person that stayed was my best friend Dre and his brother Baby Herb. Like, they were loyal to me from day one, and it wasn't about money. And that's when I learned things, man. Sometimes relationships is way bigger than the bread. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Do you think? Because now you're talking about you want to get into acting and all these type of things. Do you think that you'll retire in radio, or are you looking to move forward and do other things?
Man, that's always the question, man. I love radio, man. I love entertaining people and touching the people. I have to see how the situation comes about, because one thing with the technology that we never knew existed till the pandemic kicked in, it's ways I can still do what I need to do for the station and still move around and do other things. You know what I'm saying? If it ever got to a part that one superseded the other, then I'd have to have a honest talk with myself and be like, yo, what's really the end game? You know what I'm saying? What's really the end game, and what's gonna really work for me and my family to go to the next level? And even if it comes for me, I have to leave radio for a little. It's always an open door for me to come back, because I've built great relationships. I've never gave anybody any problems and all of that. So my boss Terry stands behind me and she knows what my dreams are, and even right now when I have to travel to DJ or I got to go do something, hey pimp, make it happen, because she knows I'm gonna take care of home. That's what it's all about. I don't know about everybody, but I'm gonna get the job done. I'm gonna get everything done where they don't have to worry about nothing. A lot of people can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So it just comes around to doing that. But I definitely know that I'm not gonna be able to do. Well, let me say, it's people that's still doing radio and everything, but I know I'm not gonna be able to do that forever, so I have to be ready for the next thing. You know what I'm saying? And all that. As far as DJing, I just love entertaining people, making people dance. Like, that's really therapy for me, making people dance.
I tell people all the time, you probably ain't gonna catch me going to the club just on a regular, just me going to the club like that. But I really enjoy DJing and seeing people have a good time, or people coming up to me, man, I had a terrible week, man. I came in and had a good, that's the shit I enjoy.
Yeah, and people when they was like, man, when they say it's therapy, I know I got a lot of flack from some people around me. My dad passed Memorial Day weekend 2021. The funeral was on a Saturday, And after I got done, we went to Bryan, had the funeral, we had dinner, and I
You
got
went
back
back
on
to
the
work?
road. Came back on the road, and I was at the address.
Hmm.
And so, you know,
But
people
like you say, therapeutic. I mean, you do that, and you know.
and that's what he always told me. He always say, man, if I ever go, he said, you better still be doing what you're supposed to do. He said, yeah, I want you to you mourn. He said, but don't you let that deviate from your dreams and doing what you're doing. I had that voice 'cause I didn't. I'm like, man, I don't want to DJ tonight. I'm like, you know what? I just heard his voice. I got back on the road and I went back to the club, went to the address, and the crazy thing, this was Mo 3 was just getting started and real big. And I was like, I got on the mic and I was like, yo, man, I said, you know, I came back tonight because y'all give me life. You know what I'm saying? And I said, you know, I just buried my dad today. I said, you know, if y'all could just light your phones up for my dad. And everybody lit their phones up and I played outside. Man, it was a moment, man. It was beautiful, man. I was like, my wife was in the corner. She's just tearing up. She's like, yo, that was dope. People came to me like, yeah, you're a strong dude to do that. And I wrecked it. It wasn't no, you know, sometimes when people going through some stuff, like we saw what happened with Tom Brady just recently with the Cowboy, you be like, oh, he done lost his wife, he done lost that. He wasn't playing. You know, people will use that and be like, that's the excuse. So I wanted to make sure it wasn't no excuse. I went in there and killed it and did my thing. So, you know, that's what you got to keep going. You got to keep living. You know what I'm saying? No doubt.
Yeah. Well, man, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm interested to see what you do next, man. You know what I mean?
We gonna do big things, man. We gonna do big things, man. You know, I'm gonna definitely put on for Bryan College State. Definitely put on for Houston, man. You know, I love this city, man. The culture here. I love all the artists, man. I love what we doing. Love the OGs. I love the newer guys that's coming out, man. It's just interesting to watch, and I've been blessed to come in the middle to see both sides of it. You know what I'm saying? And then do it up big, man. So, you know, H-Time finna put it down. You know what I'm talking about?
You said something. Now I got to put you on the spot.
Oh, hell. What we finna do?
We finna do top five.
We finna get real.
Bro, we just gonna do some top five.
Okay.
Top five.
Okay.
No, we ain't gonna do nothing too crazy.
You know, Pimp don't care. Pimp say what he gonna say. I'm like, you know what I'm saying?
No. We don't go too crazy. Top five. Who you say top five H-Time artists all time?
Of all time?
All time.
Ooh, damn. Top five. Man, it's gonna be some others, man. God dog, top five. In any particular order?
Yeah.
Okay. Fat Pat. Kiki. Zero. UGK. If I gotta get a fifth spot. I gotta say Slim Thug.
No Scarface?
Ooh, dang, you mean
I was sitting here like, okay. If you don't say Scarface,
you know, 'cause I'm
I
thinking
can't
off the
wait
top
to
of
hear
my
it.
head. I gotta give Scarface a fifth spot. You're right. Because I'm trying to think of everybody's flowing through my mind real quick, and I would have been mad at myself if I'd have walked out of here and not said it, because the lyricism of Scarface was just like, you know, ignorant crazy. So yeah, I got to get it. And then when we start going to 6 to 10, you know, next one be Slim. You know what I'm saying? So if I could go a little bit more out the five, you know, of course Slim Thug, Power Wall. I'd have to throw, because, you know, that boy wild. I had to give Sauce Walker.
Walker earned the spot. Walker earned the spot in the 10. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Hey man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, that would be my top. Another lyricist, ESG. ESG, the way he was able to move words, and definitely R.I.P. Big Mo. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, other than that, you know, if I ain't mention their name, don't be mad at them, because all of y'all, because everybody, you know, from Houston, the music, you know, I've been like a deep fan of. It's just like, I just be hating like right now at this time in some spots, you know, the disrespect for the Houston music. Like, you can't really go, like you, before the pandemic, you used to could go to places and do a Houston set. Mm-hmm. Now, you know, you might do a Houston set someplace and they looking at you like, what are you doing? I'm like, what the hell's going on? But then you have a situation where Bun B does the rodeo, and you got all these multicultural, different creeds and colors and religions. singing songs word for word. I'm like, where they at? I like to rock a party with all of them right there. You know what I'm saying? You know, but yeah, it's Houston music. That's why we inspire other people from other cities, man. With our culture, we got some culture, and people don't realize how many people take from it. You know what I'm saying? Definitely on that part.
Is this still a thing? I guess because I'm on a different side now. I just understand the way the work. Is this still a thing where people like, man, why I ain't on the radio? Why what? You know, like,
All the time. That's never gonna end. It's never gonna end. And that's the thing, man. Before you get the mouthing off and saying what you think, you gotta learn. You gotta learn it. You know what I'm saying? One thing that it was always a thing from the time I got here till now. No matter how many artists you play, it's still gonna be somebody mad. You know what I'm saying? You can't play everybody. You know what I'm saying? So but here's the thing: I would have radio guys, DJ guys come from all the markets, from LA to New York, even Atlanta. And be like, and they would listen, and they would be like, damn. Y'all play a lot of local stuff. We don't get to play that much. At some stations, we don't get to play none. And they was always fans. I said, it's crazy you said people here don't
people feel like it ain't nothing on
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So and the whole thing, when I tell people, man, probably the industry changed 10 to 15 years ago, 20 years ago. People could just do what they wanted to do. They like play this and play that. And when people don't wonder, the times have changed. The way they do ratings now has changed. It's like they got these meters that people change, that they wear on them every day. So here's the thing. That's why I tell artists, man, go work your song in the club. Don't come straight to radio. Go build your song up so that you have a fan base that listens to it. Because now you play a record on the radio. If the person don't listen to it, they go to the next station because they're not familiar with it or they don't like it. So if you was playing something just to help somebody out, you run the risk of the ratings going down, because that's how the station make their money, ratings and revenue. So it's like you look around and you be like, oh man, why this at 5 o'clock, at 5:02, 80% of the people switch to another station, and they can go back and pull up what was you doing?
What was playing?
Was you talking about something that they weren't interested in, or were you playing something? And if it was a song, you start getting questioned, man, what's that? Man, that song ain't big enough for you to be playing it. And that's just not for local artists. National artists that find it too. You could drop a new Cardi B, and if the audience is not familiar with it on their own yet, I don't like that. And they might like it on the back end because DJs start playing it and all that stuff. But that's pretty much the back end. I tell these guys, man, go out and work your record. Radio is the last step, man. You got so many avenues now to make yourself where you can make money. You got streaming, you got touring, you got merchandise, you got YouTube. The first time they make a record in their car, hey man, I need to get this on the radio, huh? And it'd be like, and that's the thing, a lot of people be like, yo. They would come at the station, and that was always hard to watch on Instagram and everything. They either coming up the station or they coming at my boss, and I'm looking like she has the final say, but I got a big voice in this, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, because you're not gonna say that to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna say something to you. Let me say, not in no confrontational way. I'm gonna educate you. I remember one time me and Don Tolliver sat outside D-Bar, and I broke down the whole radio thing. We talked for 2 hours, almost 4 a.m. He's like, OG, appreciate that. He went out there and boom. And listen, he's like, does he like getting radio? Yeah, he don't need it though. I was like, man, that's like icing on the cake, but you don't really need it. It's cool, but you don't need it. Don't think that's what you need to be successful. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and you have artists that make records that are not radio records, and they could be selling millions and millions of copies, millions and millions of streams, but it's not a radio record. The radio audience is different from the club audience. Only about 10% of the club audience listens to radio. You know what I'm saying? So you got the people that's the everyday person that drives around. I don't know what the hell that is. I'm gonna switch it off. So you got to learn that. And when I travel the world and go to different stations, I'll be like, it makes me appreciate what we do here, because I'll be like, just looking at it from a mix show, I'll be like, oh, that's how many new records y'all get to play. Who? And I tell you, so how many of y'all get to play? And I tell them, they be like, what? I'm like, damn. And so that's why I always tell my guys, I'm like, man, start going around some of these places and talk to some of these other DJs and radio people. You'll realize how blessed you are to even get some leads. And that's the one thing that even if you come to me, and even with Terry, it's like if one of our DJs came to us and they was like, I want to hit this, pretty much be like, all right. Now we ain't gonna let you continuously keep hitting it and it's not work. But if you show some love, go show some love, hit that person, make the person feel good. You know what I'm saying? It's always that communicate, you know, to the next person. I always tell them, but just don't do it and you don't tell us. Because then when we see it, I mean, you hit that, what's up with that? Now you ain't gonna tell us. Like, we gotta work as a unit, and that's one thing, you know, we've been blessed to have our team that we communicate and, you know, say what it is and all that good stuff and everything. Yeah.
That's what it is, man. Well, shit, man. I appreciate you coming up through here, bro. This has been an honor for me.
Man, you know, we got the info. We got things to talk about. People to learn. Like, I didn't know that you didn't know all that stuff about me, man. It's like, I'm like,
I mean, I don't, bro. When I look you up, it just shows, you know, JQ, College Station, music director, assistant program director. Yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, I've always wanted to just chop it up with you just because for one, when's your birthday?
September 5th.
Yeah, September 6th.
Oh, see, Virgo Nation, baby.
So I was all like, I don't know, man. I really want to just fuck with JQ. But I would see you out and it's just like, this ain't time to be doing that bullshit.
Yeah. Oh, man, that's one thing, man. You good people, man. That's what I tell you. I like good energy, man. You've always said since the day I met you, always had good energy. You know, if I didn't feel good energy, when you said you want me to come on here, I'm like, word? And then because you got good energy. Like, if you had that kind of good energy, I'm like, nah, man, I gotta work. Yeah, I gotta do something else. So, you know, I always like to be around people that are doing things and that are definitely positive and doing big things and, you know, true to themselves and true to their craft and that stuff. And that's something that you've been doing. So,
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Y'all got that shit on camera? You see it, buddy?
Donnie Houston's the man. Check the podcast. Hey, go back and watch. Hey, when y'all got time, y'all got to watch all this stuff, man. This dude here, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Apple Music, all y'all people, y'all need to be cutting some checks. Donnie Houston podcast, man. It's better than some of these other podcasts out there. No shade.
Well, listen, I can't say those things, you know what I'm saying? But JQ, thank you so much for saying these nice things and bringing this fine wine.
Yeah,
you know
fine wines and spritz, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Have fun and drink responsibly.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to do that, man. What? And pronounce that for me one more time.
Le Chim de Wa.
Le Chim de Wa, because I tell you what, I would have never got it right reading it on Instagram all these years.
Oh, a lot of people don't. You know what I'm saying? Somebody outside some cats, man, what's that? Le Shimmerdor. Like, what? Hey, for me, it took me time. You know, my way I talk is bad. It took me a month to get it right, to say it right. I've been saying Le Shim Wa Jay, what are you doing? And then it got bad when I got on like interviews. I mean, you saying it wrong, so I had to practice to say it. So now it comes out, you know, good. Shim Wa, it is.
That's what it is. Well, hey man, appreciate you coming through. You know what I'm saying? It's Donnie Houston Podcast, DJ JQ. We up out of here.
Donnie Houston.
Subscribe to the Donnie Houston Podcast, man.